In April 2017, Greater Wellington Regional Council made a long-awaited announcement regarding bus services in Wellington. It was the announcement of the tender results. The highly anticipated announcements revealed to us that from July 1st, 2018, Mana Coach Services would no longer be operating bus services in Porirua or Kapiti. They had lost the contract. So in just under a year from now, transit coach lines will take over in Porirua and user bus shall take over in Kapiti. But due to this announcement, Mana needs to make some changes to its fleet. This has begun already with the sale of 12 ADL Enviro 200's to Ritchie's coach lines in Dunedin. Ritchie's recently picked up some contracts in Dunedin and now needs extra buses to assist in the operation of the extra services it has picked up. The 12 Enviro 200's were delivered between 2011 and 2012 in 3 batches. Numbers 174, 175 and 176 were the first 3 to be delivered in late 2011, all 3 of which ran out of the Porirua depot. These would be joined in early 2012 by another 3 Porirua-based vehicles, numbers 177, 178 and 179. In late 2012, the last 6 Enviro 200's would enter service with Mana. Numbers 180, 181, 182 and 185 would run in Porirua, while numbers 183 and 184 would run from Kapiti depot. However, 185 would later move up to the Kapiti depot in exchange for Volvo B6R number 11, and then shortly afterwards number 182 would also go to Kapiti in exchange for vehicle number 118, a 1983 Volvo B10M. The Enviro 200's first entered service in New Zealand in early 2011 when NZ Bus first imported the vehicle for services in Auckland. The Enviro 200's are kit built by Alexander Dennis and were then assembled in New Zealand by Kiwi bus builders of Tauranga. Each vehicle has 37 seats, as well as low floor, wheeled and wheelchair access. The Enviro 200's are powered by a 6.7 litre Cummins ISBE engine and feature an automatic Allison gearbox. On an interesting note, the Enviro 200's were some of the first buses in New Zealand to feature Ventura Systems doors, and were also the first buses in New Zealand to feature a sliding door at the rear of the bus, as opposed to the traditional inward door or plug door. This video that you are seeing now is actually from my first ever journey on an Enviro 200. This is number 178, which I caught on a 235 service in 2012. The 235 is a route that actually no longer exists. Let's listen into that engine environmentally friendly.
Yes, thank you.
Seats really comfy as well. This ride on 178 wasn't just the first time on a Mana Enviro 200, but was actually the first ride on any Enviro 200 for me. Mana, although NZ Bus purchased the Enviro 200 first in 2011, they did not bring the Enviro to Wellington until late 2012, as all of their early vehicles went to Auckland instead. So it was Mana Coach Services who brought the Enviro 200 to Wellington first. Enviro 200, Enviro 200. Well, that's what it sounds like. Thanks. The only other company to operate the Enviro 200 in Wellington is Transit Coach Lines. However, their Enviro 200s are second-hand and feature MCV Evolution bodies. What you are seeing now are some shots which I filmed on Wednesday the 19th of July 2017 during the last week of the Enviro 200's operation. These are shots of bus number 182 operating a Route 210 service between Johnsonville and Titahi Bay. Note that this is Porirua Station. Before the buses can be shipped to Dunedin, they have to have their security cameras and several other features removed first, and this has to be done at the Porirua depot. As bus number 182 was not ready to have these features removed yet, Mana decided to deploy the bus in service on a Porirua route, despite this bus having actually served at the Kapiti depot. When I spoke to the driver, he told me that number 182 was quite possibly the last Mana Enviro to still be in service, making it very lucky that I was able to get these shots. My last journey on an Enviro 200 was actually earlier that morning on number 179. However, not knowing the rate at which the Enviros would be shipped away and not knowing which numbers were next in the list, I was unaware that this would be my last journey on one of these fantastic buses. All's not lost, however, though, because I will still travel on the Enviro 200 regularly with Go Wellington, a franchise of NZ Bus operating in Wellington CBD. Despite the changes of bus services next year, the routes to and from Victoria University shall continue to be operated by NZ Bus, which means that I'll probably still end up on these Enviros. The Enviro 200 got mixed opinions from bus drivers in Porirua. Some like them, some hate them. The most common complaint for this bus, though, was that it was simply too low, especially up on the routes to Keniparu Hospital, which would have been routes 210 and 211. One of the most common praises of the Enviro 200, however, was the very comfortable driver's seat, though I don't know how comfortable it is. I've never actually sat in it. Mana's Enviro 200 fleet will be replaced by some second-hand man buses from its sister company Howick and Eastern, which is based in Auckland. These second-hand Howicks will operate the services that the Enviros previously ran until the contracts change in July of 2018. What will happen to these Howick and Eastern buses when the contract ends, however, remains to be seen at this stage. I know for certain that as the next year progresses, more and more Mana Coach Services vehicles face the chop from the fleet, whether it be second-hand sale or to the junkyard. There will be plenty of Mana vehicles over the next year that we'll be saying goodbye to, and probably several NZ bus vehicles as well. But for now, though, we are here to say goodbye to Mana's Enviro 200s, which have served well for the last 5 to 6 years, and we can only hope that Ritchie's will look after them in their new Dunedin home. Interestingly, these will be the first Enviro 200s to operate on the South Island, as so far only operators on the North Island of New Zealand have operated the Enviro 200. So there you have it. A tribute to Mana Coach Services Enviro 200 fleet. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I shall see you guys next time.